In this video, we will see basic things or a basic Excel which is needed for a SAP consultant or a SAP finance consultant. Yeah, without Excel, it will be very difficult for us to work because a lot of things we do in the Excel, then that we migrate that Excel sheets into a SAP database, or maybe we'll download the data into an Excel, then we do some analysis. So a lot of things happens. It's not only SAP software we are going to use. We will be using uh, Excel also. So we should know the basic, at least the basic concepts of Excel, so that it will be easy for us to work easily during the migrations or data loads or anything we do. Because whatever the data you receive, 90% of the time, the data received from the business. When I call business, it is a legacy system or a client or a customer. So they give the data in Excel sheets. So you have to take that Excel sheet and load the data into an SAP. So for that reason, you have to know basic of Excel, and also you need to learn Excel because when you load the data into an SAP, so after loading the data into an SAP database, so you should compare your data which Excel in the Excel client has provided or a customer has provided is equal to your data in the SAP. So for that reason, we'll understand at least the basic of Excel. We'll not going to learn the entire Excel, at least basics. The first thing I always do, I have taken two dummy data just for our learning purpose. One is this is a data. For example, let's say this is a data which a customer has given to you for a one day cricket. And there is one more sheet we have here. The customer has given a data for the test cricket. So in real scenario, instead of this data, you will be having a GL specific data, cost center specific data, or a you will be having a balance sheets or anything, or a customer data, vendor data. But the things will remain same in Excel, the VLOOKUPs and everything, whatever the data, VLOOKUPs will remain same, whatever the data your pivots will remain same. Okay, so for that reason, I'm going with this data because it is easily available from a website. So we downloaded that one. Okay, the first thing I always do is, so the header line, I always make it as a bold. Okay. So first thing I always do is make header line as a bold and give some color. So the always is mostly used color is yellow color in the Excel. So use yellow color. So then the second thing I do is when I scroll down, I don't see the header. It's scrolling down with the data, right? So I want to keep my header as it is. So for to keep the header as it is, we'll go to view. Then we have a freeze panel option. So in the freeze panel, I always select freeze top row. So when I do a freeze top row, so what will happen is it will only freeze the top row and it will show the data like this. And you also have the option of go to a, and you also have the option of go to other freeze panel. Like for example, you want to freeze from here, but 12,400, you want to freeze somehow, due to some reason, you want to freeze your data from 134. So, okay. So in that case, what you have to do is go to freeze panel, unfreeze earlier, whatever we have freeze, and again go to freeze panel, freeze panel. So the first option you have to select. So when you select this freeze panel, so you will see that exactly at 134, you will see some different X mark or intersection is happen. So from here, you will see the freeze. So if you scroll down, it is freeze from there. And if you go to the right hand side also with the arrow keys, right arrow keys, you will see that it is moving from that 134 only. So let's remove the freeze, unfreeze. So I will keep it as top line as a freeze. So I always keep header line as a freeze line. Okay, then this is I have done in the test cricket. I also do the same thing in the one day cricket. So we'll go to one day cricket. You when you do alt tab, just an example, alt tab, it will show you this option, alt tab. So I will always shift my mouse or tabs between the alt tab. So control B will bold the first line, means you have to select all these lines and control B. Okay, then go to freeze panel, view, freeze panel, freeze top row. Okay, so this is freeze. So for one day cricket, I will give some other color because going forward we are going to learn a few more additional things. So first thing you have to do is go to home, and to select the color you have a arrow keys here. Select that arrow key. For one day color I will give light green color or a light blue color. So it is always recommended when you are working on the excels of a client, you don't select dark colors like dark red or a dark yellow. So always stick with basic light colors only. It is advised to work with a basic light colors with the client. Okay, so this is how we can freeze the first line. So the second important thing, I will straight away move to the important things only. Okay, so here blue light is your one day cricket and yellow is your test cricket. Or if you want, what I can do is I will just put a some other different color so that you can easily identify. Okay, so now what I will do is I want to select all the data. So to select all the data I can do a control A. So it will select all the data. Okay, control A, when we do control A, it will select all the data, but I don't want to do that one. I want to select from a Sachin Tendulkar is on row number 2, right? So instead of going through arrows, I directly want to go to down. So see, when I go to Sachin Tendulkar, if I directly want to go to down, so the option I have is control down. So it when I say control down means control down arrow. If I go to control up arrow, it will take me to the first screen. Okay, control down arrow will bring me to the down of the screen. Control up arrow will bring to the first screen. And like that, control right arrow will bring me directly to the right key, and control left arrow will bring me to the extreme left. Now I want to take the last screen, right? So I want to color from Sachin Tendulkar to extreme down is 89, but it is not selecting in between arrows, right? So I want to select all the data from Sachin Tendulkar to Mr. Abdul Razak. Okay, so to do that, what I will do is, so ना रिस्पेक्ट तो नहीं देना चाहिए मिस्टर करके आई एम सॉरी फॉर दैट या बट ही इज अ क्रिकेटर डोंट टेक इट पर्सनली then from a Sachin Tendulkar, then to Abdul Razak. Okay. Then what we have to do is to select Sachin Tendulkar to Abdul Razak. What we will do is shift and control arrow. Shift and control arrow. Click shift and control arrow and down arrow. So it will select all the data. Then again, don't leave shift and control. Directly leave your down arrow. Now click on your right arrow. So it will select all the data. Now I will give to any color. Let's say I will give green color. Okay. So the colorful colors which we have is green color, light color. So in the quicker node, I will do shift control, down arrow, and then shift control. Don't leave your shift control, and after that, your right arrow. Like that, you can give different colors. Okay. So one day we have a different color. Now, straight away we will move to VLOOKUP. So I want to bring here, this is a one day cricket, right? So to do any calculations or anything, so you sometimes what happens is you have to bring the values from what we call values from test cricket or a different sheet to this other sheet. So I want to bring, let's say what we want to bring. So hundreds. So Sachin Tendulkar has how many hundreds? 49 hundreds. Okay, so I want to bring test 100. So test hundreds, I want to bring the total count of test hundreds. So I will do the same color. So to do the same color, so either you can select from here, okay, or what we have is select this option and here we have a paint brush option. Click on that. So whatever the color you want, go to that cell, or whatever the format you want, go to that cell. You have a paint brush option here. Select that paint brush option and then click on where you want. So I want here. So you will bring, it will copy the same format from uh, the copied session to the new one. Okay, now I want to bring the test hundreds. So to do bring test hundreds, so test hundreds is in this Excel. Okay, so first thing we have to know that you should have a common. So we have a common here. We'll go to Excel. Okay, for example, let's say MS Dhoni. So do we have a common here? So to find common, Control F. So first thing you have to do is Control C. I want to find MS Dhoni in Test cricket. So bring your cursor or bring your mouse to the MS Dhoni cell. Copy this. Do Alt Tab, Control F, Control V. So it will copy MS Dhoni to your cell and click on Find. You can see click on Find All or a Find Next. That is fine. So MS Dhoni is not here in the Test cricket. So let's find some other name. Rahul Dravid. R Dravid. Copy this one. Control F, Control V. No, we don't have this name. So there is some issue, right? Okay. So first we need to format the data properly so that we will have a data correctly. So the difference we found is R Dravid here and here R Dravid, but here we have a Asia or a some other names have been added. Okay, still we'll go and we'll do a VLOOKUP. R Dravid is Sachin Tendulkar, they have maintained Sachin Tendulkar properly. So do a VLOOKUP. What we will do is we'll format every data and we'll check how we can do it. Okay. So first thing you have to add VLOOKUP. Just click on equal to, right? VLOOKUP, open your brackets like this and click on the cell which you want to, the common cell. Like here the common is name, right? Select Sachin Tendulkar, or the cell which you see that common. So in our case, name is the player is the common name. So in one day also we have a common name there. Okay, and then put a comma, do alt tab, click on A, the entire column A. Click on entire column A because here also we have a common, and shift, move your cursor to the cell which you want. So I want 1 days, right? So it is in the column I. So move your cursor to till the I, shift and a right arrow you have to click, shift right arrow. Okay, so I stopped at 100. Now you can remove your finger from a right arrow and you see that there is a number 9C is there, right? Now what you have to do is you have to type directly comma 9 comma 0, close your bracket, enter. So you see that Sachin Tendulkar has 51 test hundreds. Now I want to copy all this to down. So when you bring your cursor to the down and at the corner, you will see a small box here at the corner. Okay, double click on that. So wherever is the common names are there, so you will see that it is updated with the number of centuries. So first thing we have to do is, I always do, to remove the formula. So if you see here, it is showing up the formula here. When I click on 51, so when I click on 51, it is showing up the formula here. Okay, so first thing, so go and escape. Whenever you see anything stuck or anything, you just need to do a escape. So it will bring you back. Okay, so click on column K, right click, sorry, click on column K, Control C. So when you do Control C, it will copy the entire data and right click, paste special, or else you can directly click here values. Okay, so there are two options. So go to paste special values. Okay, now if I go to 51 in the formula, it will show 51 only. It will not show the formula. Always try to remove the formulas as soon as your VLOOKUPs or anything you have done. Now my client is, or myself is not satisfied with the data which I received here, because I want to see, I clearly saw that Rahul Dravid name is there in test cricket, but it is showing up NA, and Dhoni's name is here, but it's okay if it is not there his name. So I don't see Mr. Dhoni's name, or Control F, Dhoni. So we don't have Dhoni's name in the test cricket. That is fine. Okay, now what I have to do is, so we clearly understood that, let's say example of Sangakkara. So KC Sangakkara, and this is what is showing up in the test cricket, Asia ICC SL. Do alt tab, go to this point and let's try to find KC Sangakkara here. Yeah, KC Sanghakara is there. Okay. So he has done some centuries, like 38 centuries, but still it is not showing up there. Okay. So what is the reason it is not showing up there? Here it is showing as KC Sanghakara SL. If I do here, so it is showing up as KC Sanghakara Asia ICC SL. Now in this case, I know that I need to remove the names. So what I can do is I need to do some uh, rectification of the data so that I will get the proper data. So in that case, what I will do is basically I will copy, never delete anything from the original cells. I always recommend copy this data. So click on A, it will copy, and then click on Control C. Bring your cursor to wherever you want. So let's say I want to bring the data to column L. Control V. Okay. Put your means select L and Control V. This is one option you have. Or if you want to do next to that players, so what you can do is select B. Okay. Select B. Shift Control and plus. Shift Control plus. So it will add new cells. Okay. This way you can also do it. Okay. Copy these cells and click on Control V. So copy Control C means click on Control A, Control C, click on Control B. For example, B don't have a data. So what you have to do is Control A on means select column A, Control C, select column B and Control V. So it will select the data. Now I want to remove. I will add few more lines. So to add few more lines in front of D, so I need to select E column and shift control plus plus plus. Okay, for example, if I want to add additional columns after before K, so what I will do is I will select K, then shift control plus plus plus, the plus sign which we have, so that we need to press. If I want to remove these columns from here, then control minus, select the cell which you don't want, control minus. Okay. So now I want to divide name with the brackets. So whatever is there in the bracket, I am not satisfied with that. Okay, because here, because of Sanghakara name is there, but because of in the bracket we have Asia ICC also. That is the reason it is not properly done a VLOOKUP, means we have not done the VLOOKUP properly. Okay, so for that I want to remove the bracket. So to remove the bracket, I can do it manually one by one. Like I will go here, I will do like space bar, and I will delete everything, backspace. So that is one option I have. Or I have other option, directly if I want to do it for all the cells at once, whether it is 100, 200, it doesn't matter. Even for a lakh or 2 lakhs, it will work the same. So select the column B, go to data, and here we have a text to column. So in the text to column, you have a fixed width or you have a delimit. Sometimes you have to go with a fixed width. So what will happen in the fixed width is it will allow you to if first three digits are if you want to divide after three digits, so you can put like a cursor like here. So now we are not going with it fixed width. Double click on it anywhere, so it will put a arrow here. So From that fixed with, it will separate the your names. Okay, so I don't want to do this now. Just double click on it. It will remove the arrows. Double click on that. Double click on anywhere. It will bring the arrows there. If you double click on the arrow, it will go away. So go back again. So I want the delimit. I want the delimit, not with the fixed with. So wherever you see country is mentioned, they have mentioned in the brackets. So click on delimit and click on next. So SAP is already recommended few like comma. You want to divide the name by comma, space or others. So I will select others and I want this to be divided by this bracket. So I will give a bracket here. So see here, it is recommending me this name. Okay. So I am dividing the name with the bracket and click on next and finish. Okay. So always keep one or two additional cells so that sometimes it what happens is it will move like this. Okay. So the countries and everything is separated now, right? Okay. Now this is done. Now I don't want these cells now. Control minus. So if I don't want, so control minus, control minus, control minus, control minus. Yeah. Control S will save your data. Now I want to put a VLOOKUP again. Either you can do a VLOOKUP again by just putting a filter on the NA. To put a filter, Shift Control L. Shift Control L will bring a filter. So select the first line. So how you will select the first row is space. For example, I want to select this row. Okay, row number 5. Space, shift, I want to select row number 6, for example. Okay, your cell is in the 6th row, right? So here it is a 6th row. Okay, so either I can select like this, click on 6th row, or you can select shift and space bar. So shift and space bar will select the row. So for example, let's say I want to select the first line. So shift and space bar. It selected the first line. Then if I want to put a filter, shift control L. So I got the filter here. So I want to filter here on the test runs. So in the test runs, if I want to filter, so you can select deselect all or a select all, select NA. Okay, so all the NAs will come here. If you want, you can put a VLOOKUP here, or you can put a VLOOKUP on the entire also. That is fine because we have now changed the trick. Like now we have only the names. Okay, so let's go and do a VLOOKUP again. If you want, you can remove all this. So to remove all this, shift control down arrow, it will select all the lines from the line where you are and delete it. Okay, equal to VLOOKUP, bracket open, go to your name. Now name is in B column. Okay, now name is in B column. Select that name with a down, means always select one cell from the sheet where you want to do a VLOOKUP. Put a comma, then do Alt tab. Now go here. Here we know the challenge here is you have a country also. Okay. So if you do this VLOOKUP, it will not work because we have a, after Sachin's name, we have a country here. So we need to do the same activity in the test cricket also. So we'll divide uh, player's name with the country. Okay, now this VLOOKUP will not work. So what we will do is we'll remove to make it common. So we have to make some changes in the test cricket also. So shift control plus sign will add the cells here. Copy the main name from control A and click on control B here. Go to data, text to column, delimit, next, and this brackets, from brackets only we will divide and click on finish. You can directly put a finish also, not an issue now. And column D we don't want, control minus. Here just put a country. We'll sort it out how later on we will also want to see only one country. I don't want to see ICCA or other things or a bracket. So we'll see later on also how we can do that one. So now we'll go to one day sheet again. We'll put a VLOOKUP again, equal to VLOOKUP, bracket open, move your cursor or through arrow keys. So move your arrow keys, left arrow key to on the Sachin Tendulkar name, and only one cell you have to select, put a comma, then here select column B now. So in column B we have a entire name. Okay, so select column B. Now shift control or a shift control right arrow will directly take you to the last cell, or if you want you can do by arrow keys. So I always recommend to go with the arrow keys initially. Okay, so how you will do, shift and right arrow key, move arrow keys, press your shift key and move your arrow key. Yeah, so it's in column 10. One day record is on 10. So now you can remove your cursor in the bracket now, comma 10, comma 0, bracket close and enter. So you will see here the 51 is came up. So now we will do the same thing again. Control M means in column M, select column M, control C, will copy, right click on mouse, column M, right click on mouse, paste special or click on values. So I will select paste special values. Okay. So this is how we have brought all the details which are as accurate as possible. So now we'll see whatever the data which we have here is correct or not. So let's say Callis has, as per our record, row number 9, Callis has 45 test one days. I'm randomly checking. So you need to do this test in real scenario also. Go to Callis from the test cricket, Control F and Control V, press enter. So Callis has how many one days? 45 one days. Alt tab and cross verify again. So here it is showing us 45 one days. Yeah, one day means test cricket 100. So that is correct. Now randomly I will take one more player. So Watson. So Watson has NA. So NA means it is saying that is it not there in the test cricket. So let's say Watson is there or not. Control C, Control F. So go to your area and Control F, Control V. So Watson has no. So we don't have a Watson here. So that is the reason it is showing as NA. And also I will see one more person where we have a data. So A Jadeja is there. So A Jadeja not there. That is fine. So IR Bell. So IR Bell from England has 22 centuries of test. So let's say IR Bell has Control C, Control F, Control F, Control V here. So here we have a space, right? So let's say here we have a space. Okay. So I will show you how the space can be removed. As of now, let's press enter. So IR Bell has 22 centuries from test cricket. That is okay. So this is how we can do a VLOOKUP, and we have to make sure that always uh, the data should be in a proper way. Okay, so one thing we have observed that in every name, basically it will rare cases happens, but every name you see that there is a space. Okay, after the line we have a space because of the text add meet and all we have done, right? So because of that reason it is coming up. So to remove that space, what I will do is add one more cell here, select this one, shift control plus or insert cell, and final name. I will give this as final name, cell name as final name. To remove the space at the end, so even if you go to the Sachin Tendulkar, so there is a space at the end. So remove that space. So what you have to do is equal to trim, 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 and bracket open. Click on Sachin Tendulkar or move your cursor to the left side. Bring your to the Sachin Tendulkar name and press enter. Now, when you double click here, so you will see that uh, you will not able to see because of this formula. So what you have to do is you have to copy all this information to the down. So to copy all this information to the down, what you will do is you have to bring your cursor like this to the right hand side corner and double click on it. So it has brought. Now what the next step is, select this cell, Control C, right click mouse, paste special values. Okay. Now we'll go and see in the formula here. So you will not see a space. So to remove any space at the end like this, if you see here, if I put my cursor here, so there is a space. Here also for Saurav Ganguly, you will see there is a space. If you want to remove that space, this formula has to be used. Equal to trim, open bracket, put your cursor onto the name and close the bracket, press enter. So this is how a space will be removed, and if you want to do it for all, that is fine. So you have to do it at all with dragging, like you can drag like this, or you can put, sorry. So when you have a formula, you can drag, you can go to the right hand corner and it will move to all the cells. Okay, then here you have removed the space. The next step I want here is, so column B, no more needed. So If you want, you can keep the column B, that is fine. So the next step we want is, I want to see only one proper naming in the country. We'll do the same activity for here also. For the name, add shift control plus, so it will bring me additional cell equal to trim, bracket open, and select the cell where we want, and comma, not comma, sorry, bracket close, press enter, control D. So there is one option I always basically do is, let's say one option is here, I can go directly from here, I can double click on it. And the second option I always do is, I will bring my cursor to the right side and control down arrow, move again to move to the next cell with the arrow key here, shift, control shift, up arrow. Then I will do a control D. So like this also you can bring, then controls. So now what I will do is shift control down arrow, control C, right click, click on values. This is other way you can bring your values again. Either you click on the corner or you can do like that. Okay. Now here I want to bring a country. So I want to see the country here. So only country. I don't want to see Asia or ICCSL. So in that case, what I need to do is I will add 2 or 3 more cells here. Columns, I mean, this is country. So first thing here, there is a bracket at the end. So to remove that bracket, what you can do is control H, and you can put a replace what I want to replace. Select this entire column. First select this entire column, control H, and replace what, closing bracket with blank space, replace all. So 88 replacement is been done. And now I see that here we have Asia, Australia, country, Asia, ICC. Somewhere we have ICC, Australia. So there are many things which we can do easily. But still, if you want to separate this, so what we can do is go to text to column. Next, so here the differentiator is forward slash. So click on the forward slash. Next, finish. Okay. So we have country also here. So in this case, you see that there are different things or a different cells has been done, but I don't want it has to be happen with, I don't want, like for example, let's say here we have a Asia, ICC, and Sri Lanka, but I want this to be in one cell only. So how we can do that one? Here we have a India, for example, here we have Africa. Then here in this case, here we have a Sri Lanka and India. Somewhere we will have, not in this cell. Yeah, in this cell we have country also as well as ICC. So, but it is not representing the country code, right? So in that case, if I want country to be in a single cell and not like this, so what you can do is you have to create one more column, country. Okay. This you temporarily give some name, and this cell I don't want. So call it as final country, something, some other name. And this I will, this is my, wherever my original name means the modification names will be there. I will call it as a separate name so that it will be easy for me to remember. So in that case, what you can do is Shift Control L, select here. So wherever you see that is not related to country, deselect them. So I see Africa is South Africa, they have mentioned SA. So Africa is not a country. Asia, I don't want here. Australia, Bangladesh, England, ICC, I don't want here. India, New Zealand, Pak, South Africa, SL, West Indies, Zimbabwe. Select. So the one which is not a country, select. Don't select that one. And one which is a country, select all of them and click on OK. So this is the work we have to do because it is not a straight away answers you will get. Okay. So now what you have to do is put your cursor equal to and go move your cursor to left side till the country in and then press enter. Okay, now click on your cell, double click on it. So all the countries have been copied. The filter from the filter, whatever we have done, it has been copied. So now remove the filter. So we'll see there are still blanks are there. So we need to fill the blank only now. So select the cell, Control C, remove the formula. So what we will do is right click, paste special values. Here click on values. Okay, so here we don't have a formulas. Now I need to focus only on blank one. So Shift L, Shift Control L will again put a filter here. Select here blank one. So deselect all, scroll down and click on the blank one. Okay. So still I have 19 more. Okay, so what I will do is see here in this case these are all only one or two, right? So in that case you can directly enter, not an issue. Or still if you don't want to do it, here from the column E, remove ICC, West Indies, Sri Lanka, Pak, New Zealand, India. Okay, select OK. Again put a formula here equal to, bring your cursor to the right side, and in column R we have other countries. So this one column D we already selected. Now we have to select the other column and press enter. Down arrow I will go to up arrow, shift control, or directly you can use this corner button. Okay, so this will be a problem when you have a already filtered things, right? So in that case what I will basically do is, if you already have a filters, and in that case I want to copy this formula to the my next lines. Okay, because already we have some data which is already got filtered out. So it might be a possible that the formula which is now here might replace the my old data. So in that case, Control C, what I basically do is Control C, and bring my arrow key to the right side and control down. Again, I will move to the same line in column G with the arrow key. Shift, control shift, up arrow, and I lock the cell. So lock the cells. Just give me a second. Yeah. So this is a very important step. Everybody should know, whether in the VLOOKUP or any formulas, when we already filtered the data. Okay, we already filtered the data. Like for example, earlier it was like 90 transactions something, right? Or 90 rows. Now we have only how many rows? 14 rows. So already some data got filtered out. Okay. So in the filter, again, you are putting a formula. There are high chances that this formula which is there, whatever the formula which is there, might replace the older data which is correct. So in that case, what basically we need to do is, I will show you once again from the beginning. For example, I want to bring these values, okay, equal to, move your cursor to the data which I want, press enter. Okay, now I want to bring this data. So if I drag this one, so there might be a possibility that it will replace my old data which is already there. So I don't want that to happen. So in that case, what I will do is I will select the entire column data, like Control C, will move my cursor to the right side, Control down, then move my cursor to the right side with leaving Control. Now Shift Control up arrow. Okay, now I will log the cells. So to log the cells means whatever the cells you see here, I want to log that. So to log that cells, what you have to do is control, and there is a two dots, basically two dots, the column next to L, or as key next to L, there you will see two dots, hyphen, select that one, not hyphen. Yeah, so the key next to L, select that one. Again, I will tell you. This is a very critical, okay? Equal to, move your cursor to the R, press enter, Control C, move your cursor to the right side, Control down arrow, move your cursor to the left, Shift Control up arrow. That don't copy all the lines, okay? Now Alt, press Alt, and then click on cell or a key, uh, or a keyboard key which is next to L. Alt and the keyboard key next to L. Alt and next to L. Okay. So it has logged all the cells. So the formula is going to update only in these cells. After that, Control D. So it has updated. Now go to the top, remove the filter. To remove the filter or put the filter, Control Shift Control L, Shift Control L. Remove and update the filter. Now select this column, right click on it. Sorry, select this column, Control C, right click, values. So it will remove the filter. Now put a filter again. Go down, select the blank and OK. So here in this case, this is small data, right? Small content. So either you can do a control V. See, we don't want to put our formulas and everything all the time. So if you have the data easy to copy paste, do a copy paste. So for copy paste, what I will do is I will bring your control C, and where I want here in the column G, control V, control C, control V. So wherever you want control C and control V can be used. Okay, so this is the final. I don't need to do a formula setting again because just we done a control V and control C. Okay, so we have a country also. So these are all data which I don't need now. We have country also. Now the next important thing and the key is if a business asks you or so this is very crucial in the uh, reporting point of view. uh, we have to give a presentation to client or leads who are there or a top managers who are there. So always we have to present. So you cannot present the data like this. Okay, you cannot present the data like this. So in the sometimes what happens is you have to make a beautiful presentation. So that will happen through a pivots and all. So what you can do is, so if I want to put a pivot here, so I will remove column B, which is not needed now. We'll put here 1 day 100, 1 day 100, and here I will put it as test 100. So 1 day 100, I don't see 100, right? So to see that 100, after L and M, between L and M, there is a small arrow is you are seeing, right? Double click on it. So you will see 1 day 100. And here I don't want this much space. So what you can do is bring your column means cursor in between N and O, there is a line. So double click on it. So it will bring like that. So remove this column, which is not needed, control minus. So always try to keep accurate data or proper data so that we'll not uh, move into a situation where the problems will occur. Okay. Now they are asking, so I want to present beautiful reports to my client or a, so the reports can be happens means a data presentation. It is not like a pivot charts or all, right? So we want to present a data presentation. So what I can do is I need to select all. So to select all, what I will do is control A, then control C, control A, control C, and I will go to pivot table. So to go to pivot table, click on home, click on insert. Okay, so pivot is on insert, click on insert tab and click on pivot table. We already selected the data, then no need, click on OK. So here we have multiple options. Okay, so I want to see country wise centuries. So what I will do is, so I will bring my countries on the rows. So you have all the countries on my row and the number of centuries. So number of centuries, 1 day, I will bring this 1 day centuries in values here. Yeah, see somewhere we already done a mistake like ICC. We forgot to remove for one of the player, I think, or maybe multiple players. Let's rectify that one. So country, yeah, instead of country, so we should have taken final country. So let me bring final country. Yeah. So here we have Australia, Bangladesh, England, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, SA. Okay. So this way, we know like if I want to see at a country level how many centuries total they have done, so I can see by like this. So overall Australia, the top players now I have here. So if I take the top players, top 88 players. Okay, so the top 88 players, if I take, so Australia has 129 centuries, Bangladesh has 29 centuries, 27, England has 38 centuries, India has additional more centuries as compared to any other country. So the same way, we'll see test hundreds also. So I will bring test 100 to my values column. So I can see here test hundreds. So test hundreds. So it is showing as a count, not the sum. Okay. So it is here it is showing as a sum. So if you read the line, so it is showing as a sum and it is showing as a count. So here it is saying that total Australia total 14 members, or Australia has total 14 members. Okay. So I don't want to see these members. Okay. So I want count. So here it is showing as a count, right? Count of test 100. So here we have a arrow key. Click on that arrow key, value field setting, click on sum and click on OK. Yeah, so why it is showing NA? The reason is if you go to sheet 1, the reason is we have NAs, right? So we need to remove this NA. So the formulas will not work when we have this kind of NAs. So these are all NAs because these people are not there in test cricket history which we have brought from this particular sheet. Okay. So in this sheet, it is not. They might have scored, but in this particular Test cricket history sheet, the records were not there. So in that case, what I will do is Shift Control L. I will remove, deselect. I will select NA. Shift Control down arrow. I will lock the cell. To lock the cells, Alt. After the cell L, L after L, there is a key. Click on that and delete. Okay, so we have all the information. Yeah. So we removed all the information here. So in column tell and go to sheet 2 and refresh it. So it will show up the data like this. So overall, Australia has more number of test 100 as compared to other countries. The next was West Indies has 184 hundreds and India has 175 hundreds. So like that, you can check. Now I want to put a filter on names. So for example, I want to put a filter on the names. So what I can do is, so I want to bring final name next to the country. So what you can do is, I want to bring this to, these are all presentations you can give with your main leadership. So for example, go to a country is already there. So final name, bring that final name under row column. Just a drag and drop you have to do, okay? Final name. So you have all these names. So under Australia, you have Andrew Simons, Gilchrist, AR Border, BC Boone, and all. So their centuries and the country they are belonging. So now right click on it. So I want to see in a proper format. So right click on it and go to pivot table option. Click on display and show classical pivot table. Okay, classical pivot table layout and click on OK. So now you will see there is a small modification has happened. Like first cell it will show the country, next cell it will show the player's name. So here the this way you can see the total, like for this particular country, Australia, you have total 129 one-day centuries and 135 235 test centuries. These are all each player they have done. The same way for India, like the country and the centuries. So you can see here Sachin has 49 and 51 centuries, Kohli has 43 and 29 centuries. And I don't want these totals to be showing up here. So in that case, what I will do is right click, remove subtotals. So it will not show the totals now. Okay, and there are sometimes what happens is people may ask, uh, instead of showing like this, put a filter. So here also I need a filter. So in that case, I will bring my country to the filter option. So I brought country to filter option. So in the filter, I have this option. So every player will show up here. So I just wanted to showcase them the number of players from India. Select India and it will show the total number of players and their centuries. But now I want to show it for two countries. So I have the multiple options, select items. Okay. And I will select, sorry, I need to select, let's say Australia also, along with India. Click on OK. So in this case, what has happened is I can see the players showing up 100, 200 and all, but I am not able to differentiate them. Okay, so here showing two countries. So in that case, what I will do is, uh, even if they were asking me to present it more accurately, so I can bring my country to my columns. So here you can see sum of one day 100 Australian player. If it is an Australian, Jadeja is an Australian player, no. So that is the reason it is showing 0. And here is an Indian player and Australia it will show 0. So like that, from here column, we'll come to know wherever the Australian players are there. So it will show some values, and wherever Indian players are there, it will show some values. So that way you can use column and filter options, rows and all. So here, if you want to other option, you already saw that value settings. So count also is possible. So how many number of players we have and all. So let's say now we'll remove all these settings. Okay. Let's say somebody has asked to show me the number of people and their count, total number of count on the top 80s or a 90s data which we have. So just take country specific they want. So take the country, not this one. We have done with the final country, right? So take final country and remove the filter. So let's select all the countries here. So filter, select all countries, because earlier we have selected India, right? Australia. So that reason it is showing up. So here now, yeah. So bring, either you can bring the same values here on the value. It will show you the total count, or even if you bring any values, like for example, one day 100. So it will bring the sum, and you can change that to value settings and go to count and click on OK. So this way you can see the count also. So Australia, the total number of players for Australia is 14. For India, there are total 13 players, and Bangladesh only total 3 players are there on the top. And surprisingly, we have 13 players for a park. So like that, you can play around with the pivot. So pivot are the only tables that will give you a better view to your leadership. So you have to play around and show the proper dashboards to them, because you understood like how to use the column, filter, rows, and values. So use that one, and you can show this data to your leadership. Okay, this is done. Let me delete this one. I don't want this data now anymore. So the other thing is, sometimes what happens is the length of particular field, SAP field, is only 20 characters. Yeah, there are many times it happens that the length of the SAP field is 20 characters, and the business is given us the data for more than 20-30 characters. So in that case, it will give a error. So how I can check whether what is the length of my particular field? So let's say bring right click here, or put you in column B, put your cursor, shift control plus, and I need to write a formula here. Control at length 20. So more than 20, I have to tell the business users saying that it is more than 20, either remove or modify it. Okay, so SAP will allow only 20 characters for specific fields in that case, like reference field or a something, reference field or reference field is of 16 characters. So in that case, it is only looking for a 16 characters. Let's say an example I am taking. So we want only a 16 or a 20 characters. Okay. So for that, what we will do is equal to len, open bracket, put your right, means click on the cell in front of that equal to sign, press enter. So this is fine. This name is okay. So it's fit under 20 character. It will not give any error. And as we have not done any filter, you can directly click on this arrow key. So you will see here all the transactions. Okay, right click, control C, right click, paste special values. Okay. Now put a filter. What we will do is shift control L. I want to see the transactions which are more than 20, right? So click on arrow key. Here number filter greater than 20. So it is showing up me all the transactions which has greater than 20. So for example, if I don't want this to happen, these particular cells are more than 20, right? And I know like this will create an issue when I load the data into an SAP. So coordinate with business, and the business will give the data, and we'll do so many things. And we need to inform the business also, or a customers also, saying that this data cannot be loaded because this has more fields. Then business came and said like, what you can do is you can remove some data and load it. So to keep my data only to specific 20 characters. So what I will do is equal to right or left bracket open, select the name, comma 20, press enter. So it will show me only 20 characters which are there from left. You can copy all this way, or there are possibility that sometimes they say that we need to take it from the here, this is left. Okay, so sometimes we have to take it from the right side. So in that case, equal to right, bracket open, take this name, comma, 20 characters from, sorry, I have mentioned as 29. Okay, so it will show from your right to left. Here it is showing as left to right. So this way you can adjust, and you can add your namings, and you can load your data. This is one thing which is very important while loading the data. So other important thing is we have basically observed is the duplication of data. Let's say sometimes users give the data, duplicate data to us. I will put Sachin's name again here just for our understanding. Okay, so sometimes business give the duplicate data to us. Now, out of lakhs of data, it is now easy to identify. But when you have a lakhs of data or a transaction, it is very difficult for us to identify the data. So in that case, what you have to do is we have options. The first option we have is the common is name and country, right? In this case, so there might be possibility that the common is name and country. So what we do is we'll go to data. When you go to the data, there is a X symbol is there. So click on that. Continue. Yeah. So if you want to put a filter on all the cells, so it is selected all the data, not all the data, right? Control A, select all the data, duplicates. Yeah, you have to click on duplicates and click on OK. So here it is showing us one duplicate value found and removed from 88 remainings. So if you go down, you will not see Sachin's name. Let's do it again for 3 names. Control C. We'll put 3 names here. Okay, so the 3 names which is on the top are also at the bottom. Control A. Now we'll remove duplicates. So 3 duplicates were removed. Now again we'll do it. Control C, Control V. I don't want this one, Control minus. So now in this case, what I will do is I will put all these 3 names as time being as US. US, US, US. So now it is not a common, right? Because on the top, the name is India, Sri Lanka, Australia. Now let's see what SAP Excel will do. Control A, remove duplicates. Okay, no duplicate values found. But still, I see that I want this to be filtered by way of country and name, not by final country. Okay, I want to filter with the name and country. So in that case, Control A, remove duplicates. So what are the fields I want to select? Unselect all, players and country. Players and country. Okay. So 3 duplicates are removed. So if you go down, you will not see that names. So specific to field columns also, you can do a removal. There are cases like I want to see the duplicate values. I will put here one name. I will put some name here. Joy root is there. Then I will put okay. I will put Williamson's name in between somewhere. Control V. Okay. Now I have a duplicates. I don't want to delete, but I want to find duplicate values and tell the business or a customer or a client saying that in this particular Excel sheet, I see duplicate values. So I cannot go and search, right? So SAP has given a one formula. Go to data, conditional formatting. Under conditional formatting, highlight cells. Under highlight cells, duplicate values. Click on OK. So if you scroll down, it will not showing because we have not selected any data. So let's select player's name. Okay, now go to conditional, highlight cells and click on duplicate values. Click on OK. So here you straight away see that there are duplicate values have been found. DPMD Jayavardhana. If you scroll down, so KS Williamson is duplicated. So duplicate values will show up in a different color, mostly in a pink color. So with this, you will come to know that there are duplicate values exist and we need to work with them to understand why, what is the reason and they do, how we can rectify this one. Okay, so if I remove one last column, or for example, let's say if I remove one duplicate value, so it is a pink color now, right? Control minus. To select this cell row, what I do is shift space bar, control minus. So you will see that pink is disappear. Control minus. So last one is control minus. So you will not see any pink values here. Okay, so this is how we have done. Now there is always be a basic things, the sum and all. So to do the sum of total centuries of 100, so what you have to do is select this transaction from first row to the last row, shift control down arrow, it will select till here and click on this sum option. So if you scroll down, it will show the total of all the centuries. So you can copy the same count, same thing, control C here and put the same formula here under control means control copy this one, control C and paste on one day centuries. So we have more test centuries than the one day centuries for the top 89 players. Okay, so this is one thing you can do. I will once again tell you the shortcut keys how we can use. So you can move your right arrow key will move one cell by one cell, or else I will show it to you in test data. Okay, so if you move your arrow key one cell by one cell, it will move like this. If you down click, it will go by one cell by one cell. If you right click, left click, it will go one cell, up arrow will move like this. Now this, try to see the same results. Press Control and click your press Control and click your click right arrow. So it will directly go to the extreme right. Now press Control down arrow. It will bring you down. Press Control left arrow. It will bring you to the left, extreme left. Press Control, go to the Control and top arrow. So you will see that it is bring up to the top arrows. Okay, now this is Control arrow keys we saw. Now we'll see Shift Control down arrow. What is the use of Shift Control down arrow? So when you do Shift Control down arrow, it will select all the data. Shift Control right arrow. So it will select all the data. When you are in a right, so Shift Control left arrow or Shift Control up arrow. So Shift Control will select your data. Shift Control down arrow, select right. Shift Control again. So I want to select only the names and all. Shift Control down arrow, and don't remove your fingers from the Shift Control. Click on right arrow. So it will take you to this one. So Control as Control V we always use. That is fine. So one more cell to keep some data. So I want to copy one day data also here. So you can directly press sign here and copy this one day data. Control A, Control C, Control V. So you can bring all the data and name the proper naming of the cells. So here I will rename it as, bring your cursor to the right hand side, rename this one. This is a test data. Click on sheet 1, right click, rename. This is a one day data. Okay. So I want to find Lara. Okay. Let's say I want to find Lara information in sheet, uh, Control F, Lara. So Lara has made 34 centuries. Okay. So I want to check uh in test he had made 34th century, but I want to check in one day also. So if I want to check in one day also parallelly, so we have a option here. Click on option, instead of sheet, instead of checking the sheet, check on the entire book. So the book means test or one day, what how many sheets which we have, it will check for all and find next, find next. So it is directly brought to Lara here. So in one day, Lara has done 63 half centuries and 19 one day centuries. So workbook, it will read all the sheets. When you do sheet, it will read only that particular sheet. Okay, so bold, to make any transaction bold, Control B, that is known for you. And if I want to copy all these lines, same to same lines, so Control D, try to use Control D here. So it will copy the all the lines same as it is. Okay, you don't need to do all the time. Okay, so there are many cases or many times what happens is we need to put the data. Uh, there is a limitation in also SAP, is not in SAP, in Excel. That if I go to this one day track record, there might be a sometimes you want to add the some policy number, let's say. I am adding policy number WR 4 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Some policy number I am adding. So, so this is the policy number. Okay. So at the end, it is 4957. Press enter. At the end, it is 4957. Press enter. So it is not showing up correctly, right? Now, even if I drag my cursor to the right hand side, it is not showing me correctly. So if I go here and see here, the last three digits has been changed. So why it has become 000? So this is the major issues most of the time. If you don't explain the business users always knows it. Like in Excel, the last few digits after certain digits, it will never show up. Like it will show as a 000. But as a SAP consultant, we never know, and we convert Excel from some we copy Excel from a business clients, and we try to do some calculation, and we'll try to upload this one. So during that downloading and making some calculations, we change the entire format of the files. So in that case, you will load the business has given the data with something else, and you will load the data with ending in 000. So this will create a mess. So for that reason, you should know like what is the limitation of the SAP. So how many digits which we can load successfully? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Till 15 characters, Excel will allow you to upload the transactions correctly. So let's say again, I am changing this to 4, right? So put 4, 3 zeros. Instead of 3 zeros, I am putting 89, 88, 76, 2. So this is my number and press enter. So again, if I go here, so it is showing me nothing. So this will be a huge problem when we do any transactions and all, right? So in that case, what is my solution? So because SAP will not accept that characters. Even if business has given you proper data, you do some calculations, you do so many things, and after that you will end up uh, deleting the data. So for that reason, you have to make the field as text field, or you put this symbol in front of any figures. So this is a symbol. So before enter, you will see the symbol. So I can enter any number now. Let's say 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have entered any number. Here it is not showing as 000. Okay, so it is not showing as 000. Let me put some values here again without entering the text. Press enter. You will see this is messed up. So this is a limitation SAP has. So you need to understand. So if you want to do like that, so make sure that you always put the field update. If your figures are very huge, update figures with a very high value figures with the text columns. So it is not possible for you to make this as a text column. So what you can do is, so make this field as a text column field. So how you can do this field as a text column? So select this one, text to column, fix with next, back, sorry. Yeah. So here again, I'm showing you again. So I want to make this field as a text field instead of numeric field. Click on text to column, delimit, next, next, text, and finish. So the entire column has become text field now. So I will put any number now. Let me go here. Here I will put it as text. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. So to remove the text, we basically use that one. So here you put any numbers, so it will show up like this. So to do that one, what I have done is here in the tab, I went here on the click, pressed on the text tab. So it will behave like text field only. You can enter any number of figures. So basically business will give you data in this way. So what will happen is you do so many things, and when you go to data text to column and do text and finish, so you will receive the data like this, and it will load, you will load the data like this, and then will be a problem for you. So for that reason, so always try to keep the data in the text format if it is a huge numbers are there. Now let's take one more example. So here in column E, you have a start when Sachin is started. It is on 1989, and end is on 2013 is the end of the cricket career of Sachin Tendulkar. So he stopped playing international cricket in 2013. So business has given data in the same cell, but I want to load this in SAP with a start, first start, start year, and end year. Okay, so how can I do that one? So manually doing is very difficult for us, right? So one thing, there are two things which we have here. So I will show you both the options. So copy this one, shift. I will do, now you understood how I copy, shift down arrows and all. Click on here and control minus will remove. Yeah, adjust. Copy this one, go to data. Yeah, select this one, text to column. One thing is, I will show you with the fix with worst. Select this one, next. So I know like there are many times it comes up, business will give you a first four characters as some code like their previous company. Then the next four characters, they will say that their cost of the department. Then the last three characters as their GL account or something. So if you get details like this, first three characters you want to divide, last four characters you want to divide. So in that case, it is very useful. So I want to divide after first four characters. Then I don't want next character is useless for me. So what I have can do is, so we'll start again. So go to fix with, next, select here after four characters. Then again put your cursor on the next where you have data, and next, finish. So you will see that the year is also divided here with this particular transaction. Okay, so this way you can get the data. Like you can put now start year, and you can put now and year. Okay, this is one option where you can do it. There is other option is also like go to text to column. Earlier we already saw this one. Next, on the delimit, click on next. Here you just give the space bar and finish. Okay. So you have this details now. You can modify as per your requirement. And there are many times we need to do a VLOOKUP based upon the certain conditions. So in that case, what we do is we merge two cells and do a VLOOKUP. So how can I do it? So merging two cells and do a VLOOKUP. So we saw that here one day, yeah. So we'll do a VLOOKUP here now again. Okay. So we'll do the same data again. Control V. We'll take an example where there is a challenges which we have the same name repeating multiple time, but somewhere it is a difference. Okay. Somewhere it is a different. So based upon that, we will try to find out. Let's say Sachin Tendulkar has a one day records of 51. Now here it is a difference, right? There is one more Tendulkar who is playing. Let's say Sachin Tendulkar's son is playing from 2024. Let's say 2020. So he started his career from 2020 and ended in 2023. But records has updated his name with the same name 2022 and his centuries are only 2 centuries. Okay, there is one more person, let's say SR Wog or maybe SM Gavaskar. SM Gavaskar and his son has paid from 2005 to 2010. Just an example we are taking, and he has made only 1 century. So here he is a different player, right? So he is some other player with the same name, like a Tendulkar. He is a some other player. He is a different name, and his career is different. His centuries and all different. Okay. So now this player is already this player is also there in one day cricket. The same player, one day cricket. Just focus on the things which we are. These are all I'm keeping it same. Ignore that. One day he has made 10 centuries and he has made 5 centuries. Now I want to bring values. So values of what? Values of these two. Just focus on these two. If I want test data to be come here, I want these two values. Okay, so let's do a VLOOKUP now. I already taken it, but just for a new thing. So let me do a separate color here. Now put a VLOOKUP with the name like earlier we brought VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP. Okay, then bracket open, bring your cursor to the name of the player, final name, select that player name, comma, alt tab, select the entire name from where you want to copy. So from C, I want to copy. Okay, from C to now shift, move your cursor to the value you want, 10 column. So in 10 column, we have 100, comma, 10, comma, 0, close bracket, enter. So all these values are coming and control D. So our focus is here. Why these values has not come in? Let's see. So 2 and 1 is already there here. No fail. Gavaskar is also there. Okay, so we have taken the final name, right? So that is the reason. Here, everywhere you will see name has space bar, no space bar. Okay, so it was my mistake. So I copied. I should have removed this name here also. Space bar. Okay, so this is basically mistakes happens with in real scenario. So because here also you will see there is no space bars. Okay, so I removed the space bar. Now you will see here it has updated with 51 and 54. This is not the right picture, right? So in that case, what should we do? So I need to combine two cells so that it will give me a unique figure. So how can I combine the two unique fields? So basically I do this approach. I merge my two cells. Let's say I will merge equal to Sachin and the span. Press enter. Select that particular cell. So it is giving me Sachin Tendulkar name plus the span he has played. Okay, then click on Control D. So how you can bring down arrow and all you already understood. Control C, right click, space special values. Okay, so I never keep formula as it is. It will create a mess. Do Alt tab. I will also bring the same values again for here also. Plus, okay, equal to Sachin's name means right arrow and the span. Here press enter. bring to the down arrow, Control D, Control C, right click, space special values. Okay. Now we'll do a VLOOKUP again. Equal to VLOOKUP. Now put your VLOOKUP on the new name. So equal to VLOOKUP, bracket open, bring your cursor to the new name with a span, comma. There also you need to select the same thing, column E with the new name, and select shift to move your cursor to the column 9 where you have 100, comma, put 9 because it's in ninth value, comma, 0, and press enter. So you need to select how the 9 is coming is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 columns after that. Press enter. So why it is not coming up? Oh, yeah, that is fine. Here the year is different, right? So that's the reason, not an issue. Because in one day and test he has resigned in a some other. Okay, but our intention should be on the last two one, focus one, right? So we'll do Control D. So here you will see it has brought up test one, test and 100 as 2 and 1. Instead of earlier it brought the same of Sachin's and Gavaskar's score, but it is now brought up the values from the down, new values, which we have entered here at the bottom, 2 and 1. Okay. So earlier it brought some other values. So this is how you can do a two cells or a three cells so that it will bring a uniqueness and you can put a VLOOKUP. So other important thing which is needed as a SAP consultant for us is let's say there is a 100, value is 100, 200, 300. So you need to put a decimals also here. So here we don't have a decimal. So for that reason, what we can do is go here and select numbers. So it will bring you a decimals. So add any additional decimals. You can click play around, select your cells, add, it will add decimals and it will reduce decimals. Okay, you can use this transaction to add the decimals and they remove the decimals. So to make it as a text, you can go scroll down and you can make it as a text field also. Now one more thing, that is we have received one value, let's say 200, 300, sorry, 30,000, 40,000 and 50,000. So we have these values. Okay. So if I normally in column O, if I bring these two values here at the bottom, I can see sum, count, and the average. Here also, if I do for all these four, the sum is 144, the count is 4, and the average is 36. But as these figures are in the text field, it will just give me a count, not the sum. In that case, what I have to do so that I will get the uh, sum. So if numeric figures are there and I want a sum, so select this one, click on data, text to column, click on finish. Now you will see sum and average also. So this is how you can do. Sometimes if there is a issues happens for us also, we do this activity. Now I want to add shift control plus, will add one more cell here. Okay, so I want to add SR number. So how can I add SR number? I can add 1, 2, 3 like this. Or what I can do is I will just press 2 or 3 here. 1, 2, 3 here. And I will select all of them. Select all of them. So how to select? Shift down arrow. Select all of them manually and click on this drop down. Okay, so the shortcut to copy few cells only. So you can use shift only. If you do shift control, it will bring you to the down, extreme down. So I want to do it for only for few cells. Shift down arrow for few cells, and you have to select whatever the cells you want. Okay, so once again we'll do here, put 1, 2, and 3. Maybe some details. Then select all these three through a shift down arrow. Select this option, double click on it. So it will give you SR number for all, and double click on C and D between. So it will take you to the SR number. Okay. So now I want to bring this column C to my column in front of column A. Select column C, Control C, bring your cursor on column A, Shift Control plus. So it will bring all the copied values to here. If I want to do the same activity, so for example, let's say Control minus I will do. So if I want to cut from here, Control X. So again, so select column C, Control X, put your cursor on Control A, means column A, Shift Control plus. It will bring from C to here. This is how you can bring the values. The next important thing is sometimes I receive values like this. There is a huge space between transactions. So in that case, what I will do is I will select all of this. I will right click on any of the row height. I will set it as 15. So it will bring me values like this. And if you want to hide any particular cell, I don't want this cell because it is not necessary for me. So I don't want this cell. So select this one, right click, hide. So it will not show up. Okay, and one more thing. Earlier, what we have done is we have done the VLOOKUP. Okay, now I want to bring a reverse way VLOOKUP. Is possible or not? So let's say in the cell, Control C, business has given you data here in front of name. So these are all not needed now. So let's delete this one. So this is also not needed. I will keep only proper data which we want. Here also we have data. Here also we don't need this one. So let's bring data again here. Equal to v lookup, bracket open, bring your cursor to Sachin's name again, comma, alt tab, select column C and column B, comma, 1, comma, 0, bracket close. So it is bringing no values, right? Why it is not bringing any values? Because it is a, yeah, let me do text to column first. Text to column, finish. Again, we'll do it. Equal to VLOOKUP, comma, takes Sachin's name, comma. Here we are going back. Okay, going back, comma, 1, comma, 0, and selecting enter. So no values are coming. So it is not possible for us to do a VLOOKUP if the data is before our cell. So such in cell, so it has the data should be after the cell, not before the cell. Okay, even if you think that if I give -1 here, because it is in uh, before the Sachin's name, so it will not work. Okay, so it should be after the cell. So for example, let's say again we'll do VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP, the same thing. Now I will bring it to column D. I will delete it from here. Now let's do a VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, open Sachin's name, alt tab, give Sachin's name and select next one, comma 1, 0. Sorry, you have to put 2. It was my mistake. I will show you once again the previous one also. So it is bringing the values. Okay. I will show you once again because I by mistakenly mentioned as 1. So let's say 2. So for example, let's say we have a data. We right side it has came in, right? So the same way we'll put our data here again. We look up Sachin's name, select row and go back, comma 2, comma 0, comma bracket close. So you will get this error. Name and formula, everything is not matching. So because even if you put a -2 also, it will not work. So it has to be like that. So in if you go forward, we look up like after the name, your value should be there. It should not be before the name. So we look up will not work if it is after the name. Then other thing is Like here, I want to merge my names. Okay, so I want to merge Sachin name with India in a single cell. There are cases, it will always come name and country. So we need to add both name and country to the text field instead of separate fields. There are some chances that in SAP there is one field is there, and I want to use that field to maximum possible values as possible. So I want to put name, country, year, as much information as I want to put on that particular uh, text field. So in that case, I want to merge this and year. So what I can do is, so to separate that particular location, what I will do is I will separate with dash or hyphen, control D. Okay, so I will say this equal to means I will put a formula equal to Sachin name, and I put hyphen in between and country, enter. So like this, you can merge as many fields as possible. So it is coming up country and all this information. Okay, so this is one way we can merge, and I use this formula because it is very easy for me to use this one. You can have any other formula also, that is fine. And there is one more things that I want to add multiple lines to this name. So for example, let's say we write a test scripts or we write a some information. So in that information, what happens is I need to put all the information into a single cell only. Let's say Sachin is a great player. And next, I want to tell great one day player. I also want to tell great test player. But I don't want to show this in a single line. Great one day player, great test player. I want to show this in a separate line in the same cell. So in that case, what I will do is when you click on Alt Enter, yeah, just press Enter. Do it again. Great ODI player. Now press Alt Enter. It will bring you to the next screen. Great test player. Again Alt Enter. It will bring one more area, means test player. Alt Enter. Great T20 player. So like this, you can see now if I want to see this one, double click on it. So in the same cell, so what I have done is Control Z. So because it is not showing up in this single cell, right? So I want to adjust this cell like earlier we were adjusting the cells, right? Like this. When you put your cursor like this on between the lines between G and H, so it will adjust yourself. So like that, I done the same thing. 2 and 3 between, I am trying to adjust the cell. So it is showing up in the single cell, but it is showing like this. So if you want to do this activity, Alt and Enter will help you out to enter like this, or else it will update in the same line. Okay. Now there are sometimes I want to add before on the top of it. So this is of one day records, right? So I want to add I want to tell that this is a 1 day record. Okay, so what I will do is I will tell it ODI record. ODI record. Okay, but I want to merge all these cells. I don't want to show this in a separate cell. So I want to show this as a heading. So select this one, Control B, bold it. If you want bold, then bold it, or else not required. Then go to Home. In the Home, you will have a merge cells. So this is the merge option. So when you click on this merge option, it will merge and it will show like this. It will show in one cell. So it looks good when you do a presentation and all. So if you want to merge two cells, you can merge it, merge cells. Okay, so merging of two cells, there are areas where we want to merge the cells and show the transactions. So in that case, you can merge the cells. Merging cells can happen like this and like row wise and the column wise. I will show you one small record, like let's say few data. Okay, now from here, we'll copy this data. Let's say we'll copy this data. I will put two players only just to showcase. Okay, Sachin and Ricky Pointing. And this is what 1 day record data, right? Colorful one is 1 day record. If you are following my session from beginning, so this is 1 day record. So I merge this one and I will call it as 1 day record. ODI record. Okay, now I also have test record data. So test record I have here. So I will bring these two values from here. As of now, remove this one. We are not focusing on the values count. So okay, so sorry, my mistake. I should have not done this one like this. Yeah. So now we also have the records for the test. So what you have to do is copy this one and you put here the test record. So how the business will come to know? So you have to merge these cells. So merge these cells, saying that this is test record. Merge the records and say it as test record. Okay, so this way you a user business will come to know this is a 1 day record and the test record. So put cells here so you can add all borders so it looks good. So whenever there is a borders required, then you can go here and you can put your all borders and you can see the transactions like this. So I don't want, if you want, you can put some other different colors also like bold or something. Control B. Okay, so one day record. This is the one day record, and this is the test record. So now you understood the use of how we are merging this transaction. So these two players I want to consider as a top players, and I will rate them as a main players. So what I will do is I will create a okay, so I want to merge these two cells, and I will give them a 1 rating. So the next count, whoever is there, let's say randomly, let's pick some data now. Second set, I will take Virat Kohli and Callis. Here also Callis is a underrated player. The way he played cricket was very better cricket. Callis, Kohli, where is Kohli? Kohli should be on the top. Okay, we don't have Kohli. By mistakenly, I have deleted or what? Okay, so I will randomly put some one's data here because our intention is not here to who has made what. So I will merge these two and I will rate them as second top batsmen. So this way you can merge like on the top you see this is how we merge. This is how you can merge the cells. Okay, then one more thing. Sometimes what happens is we write a lot of data here. Now this is, I think we understood this one, control minus. How to play cricket with cricket like Sachin and and Rahul. So this is the area, and I want to fit this entire line. So this line is going to some other lines, right? So I want to fit this entire line into a single cell. So for that, as we have wrap text. So click on this wrap text. So it will put all the information in the uh, whatever the length of the cell is there. So it will try to put that information. Okay, this is one more important thing which we need to understand. And other than that, there is few more things which looks good. Better presentation is alignment of the data. So if you see here, if you observe, when I write anyone's name, so it is show up in the left hand side. If I put any numeric, it will put on the right hand side. So this is how the SAP behaves. If you want, sometimes if you do something, move to your middle of the cell, so you can do this way. So these are the cell alignment. You can use this one. Okay, and to the extreme right, you can do like this. So this is how you can add the cells and all, formatting like moving here and there. And to reduce the size and the length, you can use this one, bold and everything. You can use all these informations. These are all known to many of us. Yeah. So there is one more thing when we do some test cases and some testing. So what we do is we have to attach the documents in the file itself. So for that, what you have to do is go to insert, go to text. Here you will have objects. So from the object, display icons. So create from icon, and from a browse, select the file which you want and click on display icon and click on OK. So what will happen is it will save that particular attached document here, and you can see the document. So that is one thing. So I will stop here, and going forward, like if anything important I missed out in this session and need to be covered, I will create one more video and I will post everything. Thank you.